I don't know if you're going to be able to see this guy, but there is a spider sitting right here, right in my doorway. Why has he done that then? I'm getting more and more concerned this is going to become a greenhouse full of spiders, and I think my vision of that is becoming a reality because they seem to be moving in. It's only August and they're moving in already, so ugh. Anyway, how you all doing? Welcome back to my allotment diaries. My name's Emma. These are the allotment diaries. Are there even going to be allotment diaries now that Angela Rayner has decided to allow councils the power to sell off allotment plots and build flats? Who knows? Yes, this is the big news at the moment. The big news going around in the press is that Angela Rayner, who is the Deputy Prime Minister of the UK, has decided... Is she the Deputy Prime Minister of the UK? I think she is. I don't massively follow it, but I think she is. She has decided to grant cash-strapped councils the ability to sell off their allotment land in order to build houses and flats, because we have a huge housing crisis, especially in London. And that seems to be her answer to it. Now, I did a bit of research into this because obviously, if we think sort of logically about this and don't get panicked for a second, the allotments that are likely to be sold off are probably ones that are being underused. And that concerns me greatly because this site is huge. This is the biggest allotments in my local area. It's huge. It actually goes around the corner, and I don't show you that area very much, but it's the size of this site again, basically. So it is a huge, humongous allotment site, and as I always say, unfortunately, which I wish I sort of didn't now, given this news, a lot of the plots go unused or they become overgrown and become abandoned, which sort of, I think, makes it ripe for the picking if there's a housing shortage. And there is a housing shortage in my area. They are constantly knocking things down and building great big flats where I am, like constantly. It's just like almost every day, literally almost every day, we find a new building site with flats going up. So obviously that's gonna be the ones that are at risk, I think. However, I did a bit of research, and the National Allotment Society put up this post, which I will read to you now. So the National Allotment Society is a society that looks after allotments in the UK. Allotments are protected, so you must remember there's a lot of legislation around allotment plots. You can't just get rid of one. In light of recent media coverage suggesting the possible increase in the sale of allotment land, we'd like to reassure plot holders and the wider public that no changes have been made to the statutory protections afforded to allotments in England and Wales. So there are separate protections over allotments. You cannot just get rid of them willy-nilly whenever you want. Allotments cannot be sold or disposed of without following strict legal procedures, including consultation with the National Allotment Society. No allotment land will be lost without proper scrutiny and mitigation. So they have sort of put up a post reassuring us that the council can't just turn around and go, we're closing it down, we're getting rid of it. There are lots of legal procedures that they will need to follow before that happens. So that sort of put my mind at ease a little bit. Hopefully it puts yours at ease as well. It is one of those things. It is just one of those things. The world is changing, guys. Times are changing, the world is changing, the focus is changing. And I guess we need houses. So for now, as far as I know it, this allotment plot is staying. I haven't heard anything about it, so we're going to continue as if it's going to be here forever. What's really sad about it as well is that this allotment site has probably been here for over 100 years. And the idea that in my lifetime I could see it close down and disappear is really, really sad. And it just feels like nothing is sort of protected anymore, is it? Nothing, everything's up for sale. Over 100 years, and then in my lifetime it's just going to go. Not under my watch. I'll be out there with a board saying save our allotment. I will, I promise. Right, let's check our fabulous pumpkin archway, which we haven't checked for a few days now. It's looking great. Look at that pumpkin there. Look at this. This is doing so fantastic, and nothing's touched it or got to it. Oh, brilliant. Just growing so well. A lot of you always asking about the pumpkin archway. It's doing better than I could ever imagine it would do. It's covered the archway, we've got the runner beans, we've got all the flowers. It's gorgeous. Those are radishes that I just pulled up because they were past it and finished, and they finished flowering. A lot of you are going to tell me you can eat these, which are the seed pods. I have tried them before and I don't like them. I'm just not a fan. So you know what? If you grow something and you've got no use for it, put it in the compost, because then at least it's getting a use, you know? I don't feel like this is wasted if it's going into making compost for the rest of my plot. It feels like I'm growing it for compost. And we had all the flowers as well, so the pollinators absolutely loved the flowers. They got some use out of it. Win-win in my book, you know. I know what you're all wondering. Did the carrot netting work? No, it bleeding didn't. No, it did not. He got in again, jumped on it and dug. All he wants to do in here is dig, and I don't know why. Oh, it is frustrating, guys. It is frustrating. It is really annoying because the carrots have germinated so beautifully as well. That's what's most frustrating, I think, is that they're actually trying to grow. And he just keeps turning up and digging in the middle, and it's so annoying. He's not going to win. I'm not going to let him win. He's not going to win. I'm just going to keep re-sowing the bleeding carrots. He's not going to win. I'm not going to let him. I'm not going to let him. I think this might have been the most times you've probably ever seen anyone sow carrots in the same bed. I don't care. I will continue to sow them and he will continue to dig them up, and we will have this standoff until the carrots grow. Drill again. Got the drill, and I also got some longer screws, so we're going to try and put that archway together again, which I think would be good fun. Yeah, cool, let's do it. Right, this is where we got to last time, so we just put one of them together very roughly, and now we need to make another one like that. At this point I think I might possibly need some new wood, but I'm really hoping it doesn't sort of come to that, so we'll just sort of keep going and see how we go. Right, I need to put that in there. I'm so bad at this sort of stuff, I really am so bad at it. I wish I wasn't. I do try, I really try. So I've made these two sort of frames, and what we're going to do is attach them together with some wood, and then when I've done that, start putting more wood to try and support it and keep it upright, and that's just what I'm going to do. It might not be what you would do, and it might not be the right thing to do, but it's what I'm doing, and we will see if we can make it sturdy enough to hold a rose up. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's going, it's going. Tell you what, it's not sturdy and it's definitely nowhere near done, but it sort of does look like something, doesn't it? It really does. Looks like I'm making a little house. is, sorry, I'm trying to stay in the shade because it is getting so hot in the sun. That is hands down one of the best things I've ever built, the allotment plot, honestly, other than probably my polytunnel archway. That is pretty good. It's not finished because I've had enough. I don't come here to do this sort of thing, but it's looking pretty good, isn't it? I'm sort of trying to make it more like a pergola, like a mini pergola. It's going to have my rose going up it. So at the moment, the rose is going up this sort of flimsy metal archway, which keeps getting knocked down by birds and foxes and things. So I think this will be a lot sturdier. Look, I've got these little crisscross bits on it to make it more sturdy. I love it. I also just think it looks better because it's made out of wood, and I think it just looks nicer on the plot to have things made out of wood if you can do it. And yeah, it looks really nice up against the apple tree, doesn't it? Oh, I love it. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. I think it's going to be a bit of an ongoing project where I'll just keep adding to it and sorting it out as I go. Let's go do something else with plants. Kale plants that I planted absolutely ages ago, they're like trees, they're huge, they're huge. I didn't realise how big they would get, but I was really hoping that they would be perennial, and I don't think they are. I really want to grow that. What is that kale that's perennial? There is a perennial kale. I need to grow that because kale isn't something I eat all the time, but I do really like it occasionally. Well, not occasionally, slightly more than occasionally. But it is something I'd like to keep picking all throughout the winter time. So if you know what that perennial, I mean, I will go home and look it up, so don't worry too much, but there is a perennial kale you can grow, and that's really what I need to do. The only thing with perennial stuff at allotment plots is that you have to dedicate a space to them, and then you can't move them because obviously they're perennial, which means that they don't die back at the end of the season. So you have to sort of be quite selective of where you put them, and I like to move things about. You know me, I get bored with stuff and I like to move plants about. But yeah, I will look into some more perennial plants, I think, at the allotment. I think it would be a good idea. I think all allotment plots should really have some perennial plants because it's so much easier. It just grows every year, you pick it. Yeah, I mean, what could be easier? Might also pick this lovely Savoy cabbage. It looks absolutely huge, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, it looks lovely. I think I might pick, or is there a smaller one? I do have quite a few. There's a smaller one in there. I could have him, couldn't I? I just swallowed a whitefly. I just swallowed a whitefly. A whitefly just went into my mouth and I just swallowed it. Oh my god! I am literally that old woman who swallowed a fly. That was so traumatising, honestly. I can't tell you how traumatising that was. As I was pulling up the cabbage up, it just flew straight into the back of my mouth. I had no choice but to swallow it. I promise I do not eat flies. Willingly. Okay, take two with the cabbage. Keep my mouth shut this time. Wow! That is a whopper. That's one of my smallest ones. Can you believe it? This is one of the small ones. That is brilliant, that is. I love it. It's got quite a bit of damage on the leaves outside, so I might take some of those off. But the middle looks great. Oh, that is brilliant, that is. Right, I think I'm going to have to call it a day there because I'm getting a bit of a headache. It's actually a lot warmer today than I anticipated it would be. What is it in the greenhouse? Let's check. Yeah, 33.8 degrees, so quite a lot hotter than I anticipated. Everything's doing really well. The tomatoes are getting a little bit out of hand again. They just want to take over the world, don't they, tomatoes? That's all they want to do. I'm not going to be cutting them back again until later on in the season when it starts to cool down, so probably end of September I'll cut these back if they're still alive, and that will be to help any of the green ones develop into red tomatoes before it gets too cold for them, because, you know, it doesn't last forever, guys. But I'm still getting lots and lots of red ones, and I am picking them at the end of every allotment trip, so I will just quickly throw a few in my bag to take home. Hope you've enjoyed my little vlog today. I will be back on Sunday with a London home vlog, home gardening vlog, and then I'll be back at the allotment plot on Monday. So until then, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.